Is my inventory clean? Define clean. Bangar, I'd like to talk, unless you're still sulking.
Come to check on my accommodations? Not to worry. Time of my life. Best cage I've ever been in. Plush. If you're here to gloat, though, you'll have to get in line behind the big blue dragon of my former protege. Trust is in short supply at the moment. I get it. Believe me, I don't trust any of you either. On the other hand, if anyone's trust has been abused, it's mine. Did I lie? Did I ever break my word? I told everyone exactly what I wanted and what I would do to get it. That kind of candor is rare these days.
Yeah, sure!
What thanks do I get? Jormag schools me over, disfigures me, hands the reins to my blazing apprentice. So you can wipe that self-superior look off your face. I'm the aggrieved party here. You don't get to judge me.
I want to roll my eyes so hard that they actually, like, transcend out of my skull. Yeah, Bangar, you didn't lie. But, like, here's the thing. If I say to the birds right now, I'm gonna do a murder on someone, and you're all like, oh, whoa, is Rook just being silly? And then I go do a murder. And then I come back and I'm like, well, did I lie about murdering someone? It's not like everybody's just gonna be like, oh, Rook, no, you were honest about it, and that's what matters. Everybody gonna be like, Rook, you murdered someone. And then I'm gonna get put in prison. It's like, I get it, Bangar, but also, you can eat my entire butt. I just like... I just can't with you anymore. You earned this cage. You earned this nonsense. Don't try and make me like you now by being sassy. Jormag and Ryland, how did that happen?
I should have seen it coming. Kid turned out to be more ambitious than I realized. You learn from the best.
Well, and his lover got killed, so...
Pushed him. His warband, Cinder. That was your big mistake.
Yes, it was, and I'm still angry about it.
Personal. Or smarter did. To Ryland, distinction without a difference.
It's so infuriating because if we had just killed, like, if I had my way, we would have dragged Smoter out and been like, he gets killed now. Can we make peace, Ryland? We don't support what he did. But the story had other things in store for us, which I understand. Yeah, sweet, my guess is that it's frozen to his body. I think they probably couldn't get it off, like Otter said. Support Rook because she says what she means. Yeah, the murder was on goblins. Definitely. But loving not the way I do, I'd also feel very bad about that, you know what I mean? You think Jormag always just meant to use you?
I don't know. You asked me before this, I would have said, no chance. No one mind controls Bangar Ruinbringer. But the way it played out, was there an inflection point, a specific moment when... If there was, I didn't know. I never felt for 1 second like my mind wasn't my own, but... I heard the whispers. Maybe that's all it takes. Funny thing, anybody mentioned whispers to Ryland? He genuinely seemed to have no idea what they were on about. He might have been the one person Jormag didn't whisper to. Yet Jormag chooses him. I think about that a lot. Jormag doesn't make you do anything. It doesn't have to. All it has to do is persuade you to want what it wants. And if you want it already, so much to bet. No need for whispers. At this point,
Oh my god, he has so much to
I
say.
think that's as much insight into Ryland's steel catcher as you're ever gonna get.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. That is actually really cool, and I do love that a lot. I mean, did I also roll my eyes like 20 times at this man? Yes. What did we... Bangar, what's the one thing we said to you like 500 times, Bangar? Was it, I don't know, you could be under the influence of the dragon? Bangar's like, nah, too cool for that. It's like, where are you now? You want to come at me again about how you were too cool for that?
Hey, Commander, I've got some things I need to say to the prisoner. You might as well stick around to hear them.
Oh, okay. These aren't like choices we have to make for Rytlock. These are things that Rytlock wants to say. 6th time as the charm, and Garrick. Also, good to see you in chat. Welcome in. Rytlock blames Bangar for Ryland. I mean, that's fair.
How could you let this happen? Be more specific.
You know what I mean. How could you let Ryland do this?
Let Ryland. You were there, you heard it all. This was not the plan.
The plan. So brilliant. You never even noticed my son was plotting against you?
I mean, to be fair, Bangar's head was so far up his own butt that he couldn't see much, so...
Maybe I'm losing a step. Maybe I was too focused on creating a future for the Char.
You mean a future for yourself?
Or maybe I was so busy seeing the stone glow in him, I forgot about the brimstone.
Okay, get over yourself.
I mean, you've clearly forgotten yourself. Char don't have sons. Rytlock. Crecia knows that. Everyone knows that.
Crecia is just as much of a mom as he is a dad.
You should have stayed gone.
Bangar is right, though. I mean, yes, but like, I mean, we have seen... That's sort of been the whole crux of this, right? And we've talked about this before, even in past episodes. The whole crux of a lot of this conflict with the Char has to do with, like, the idea of envisioning the future, right? Like, do we maintain the traditions of our people that may make us hostile, may make us, you know, it's just very interesting. Like, do we cling to this idea of power at all costs and this warlike sort of culture? Or because we are trying to forge peace with others, do we realize that our own future may need to envision a different life for the Char? And I think that's what these two obviously embody, right? Like Rytlock, his own discoveries about his family, his own feelings, some of the short stories we've gotten about how he regrets things with his son, all of those sorts of things, I think are really him having a crisis of like the traditions of his own people, and if he thinks that they really are what will ensure the future of the Char. And I think that's such a cool thing, right? Rytlock regrets staying away from the homeland.
I shouldn't have stayed gone. I should have come back. A long time ago.
Yeah, you should have.
You think that would have changed anything?
It might have, yeah.
Couldn't have hurt.
It's true.
You've been fraternizing with other races too long, Brimstone. We're Char. We don't do regret.
Do you also do
And we own them.
getting brainwashed and turned into a popsicle? Because one of you two is doing great at that.
We lose, we take the shame. What we don't do is sit around agonizing for years about it. You've forgotten what it means to be Char.
Or maybe he's redefining what it means.
Maybe you're right.
I've got him.
Make it quick.
Okay, so there's those. There's those.
Champion, I sense a stronger presence around Bangar. Perhaps Jormag is ready to break their silence.
It's about time. Let's see what the Elder Dragon has to say. Whisper to me, Jormag. I'm getting tired about hearing this popsicle talk, but I will hear your sweet dulcet tones any day.
I would like to speak with Jormag.
I don't take orders from you.
Aurene's so good,
I'm
so
afraid
beautiful.
it's no longer your choice.
The hell, Aurene. The dragon of prisms. Lovely as an ice crystal.
It is nice to finally speak with you.
I love the way that they've layered in his voice and their voice into
the
one.
dragon of ice and persuasion. You worked so hard to get them to wake you. Why? What is it you want?
It's a lot of tinkles in the background.
What I've always wanted, to be free and preserve Tyria.
Yeah, but you can't just lock Tyria in
You
stasis.
whisper to vulnerable minds. Turn allies against each other. This one. Your voice. You've practically made a slave.
Nothing was done that he did not invite upon himself.
Jormag's like, this guy
These
sucks.
weeks have shown you I am not the enemy of
Like,
your mortals.
they're like, did you not see how much he sucks?
Value
I thought this was a
work
fine
more.
choice.
Perhaps we two are more alike than you think.
I'm so
I'm the
suspicious.
youngest elder dragon, but I wasn't born yesterday.
I'm not an idiot, Jordan.
Your fear and focus are misplaced. I am not driven to madness and mindless rampage, like your grandfather.
That's it?
I've hit a
Nope.
nerve. Apologies. We can continue this conversation another time.
Wait!
No! Jormag knew what they were doing, 110%.
I very much doubt that.
I do, can I just say this though? As I was listening to this, as I was thinking about what we were talking about, I love that, like, the Char as a race are the ones that are more embodied with, like, fire, I think, and the Norn are more embodied with ice, right? And so, like, obviously Jormag has been a threat to the Norn. We know this long term. But I love that the race, like, and what especially Bangar encapsulates, right? This idea of stasis, of things being preserved, of the Char way remaining like what it is, and them claiming power so that that can be absolute. I love that they, like, twist what you would almost expect, and in a very fitting way, I mean, make him, like, the mouthpiece of Jormag, make all of the things that they've done, like, almost tie the Char to Jormag as an entity, which makes me wonder if we're gonna see something almost in reverse with, like, the Norn. Since we know that Fireboy's waking up. I've been theorizing it, the trailer confirmed it, and now I'm like, wait, hold on, hold up. Jormag is like a nasty piece of work, but also very compelling and interesting.
I still haven't been able to pinpoint where Jormag disappeared to, champion. They're very adept at hiding themselves from me. That makes me nervous. I'd like to know what Jormag's planning.
Jormag, will you speak with us again?
Hey, Jormag, you there?
Don't do this. Mortals. Such curious creatures.
Changed since the last time I was fully awake. Yet their lives are still so ephemeral, pitiable.
Well, you're not helping your case.
You look down on them. That's a flaw.
Oh, there are some exceptions. I can see why you've bound yourself to your commander.
It's because we love each other and we have a relationship built on mutual
bound.
trust.
Chosen and reciprocated.
Consent.
Yes. Yes. Just so, I suppose. I admit, now that I have one of my own, I understand the appeal of such a partnership.
Jormag just sounds like they're talking about a
So
pet.
Ryland is still with
Now
you.
that I have also adopted a cat,
Of course. He's surprisingly easy to talk to, and an excellent strategist.
That's the opposite of reassuring.
It's been months since I awakened, and you still don't trust
Well,
me.
Jormag, look at what you've done. Look at your
You
life. Look
raised
at your
an army.
choices.
I'm betting you raise one still.
You raised an army?
An
You
army
made
led
bears
by my
eat each other?
champion.
You
Just as you have.
you created
And what do
undead
you plan to do with
monstrosities?
your champion and your army?
Guard the future. And my freedom. I am not the threat, Aurene. Focus your attention on what is coming. Not on me.
That's sus. Come on. Jormag, you can't be sitting there like, oh, yeah, don't pay attention
Of
to
us?
me.
Not likely. And knowing what it is won't change the fact that they're playing you like a fiddle.
They're not playing us. We haven't
You
agreed to
know.
work with them. You just want to feel better about yourself, Bangar. Crecia is gonna destroy him. Oh my god, the first one is Crecia's gloves are off. She's gonna rip him a new one. Oh my god. Oh, I can't wait. Where's my popcorn? Let's do it.
I didn't trust you before, and I sure as hell don't trust you now. Give me one good reason not to kill you.
Maybe you weren't paying attention, but the ice dragon stuck this thing on me. Apparently, I'm its spokeschild.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Jormag needs to talk with us, they'll find a way to do it, with or without you. Try again.
Crecia's like,
know
I might just
Rytlock
kill
better
you
than
anyway.
anyone. Better than you, far better than Brimstone. I can tell you what he's likely to do.
Recent events suggest otherwise. Last chance.
Crecia's like, you still haven't said
Which
anything that makes me
language?
not want to kill you, so.
You'd miss me.
I already miss you.
Stuff it.
I've missed you for months. The mentor who taught me half of all I know. That Char I mourn. Not you.
No.
You, I just pity.
She's so good. She's too good for anyone in this game. She just deserves to lead the charge. She deserves to lead them. She's so good and strong. And Garrett Keys, you know, he's just doing that smooth charm. That smooth persuasion. Lee Shock. Then a new expansion comes along. Cree needs answers.
What happened to you, Bangar? Were you always like this? Was I just blind to it?
I mean, Jormag probably
Like what?
influenced a lot of us,
Blind to
right?
what?
The hate. The sociopathy. Flames, you murdered Almora.
Don't
She
remind
wanted
me.
to stop me.
She told you the truth. Time was you expected that. From me, at least.
Everything I did for the charm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You keep telling yourself that. While I clean up your mess.
Don't worry, girl. You're gonna do so much better than he ever did. You're more beautiful, more powerful, more ferocious. I know. I'm all on the female Con-er boat. Like, that's me. I got on it. I'm gonna sail it. I'm gonna... Eliandra, do you have any cats? Do you have any pets? If not, you could bundle up a blanket and snuggle it. If it's a fluffy blanket, it might be kind of close. Cut to the chase.
So, Jormag can speak to us through you.
That seems to be the idea.
Does that cut both ways? Say we want to talk to Jormag. We just say whatever it is to you and Jormag hears it?
You're assuming it gave me an instruction manual. I have no flaming idea.
Let's try it. Jormag, Elder Dragon of Ice and Persuasion. I request an audience.
Bangar's just a puppet
I
at this
am Crecia
point.
Stoneglove, Imperator of the Blood Legion. Will you parley?
They're not gonna answer. No. I feel like they only heed
So it's a
Aurene's
one-way
call.
thing.
I mean,
The voice
Cree,
of Jormag.
unless
Of the ears
Jormag's
of
just
Jormag.
ignoring your call, which is
Or
possible.
Maybe he just doesn't care what you have to say.
I mean, yeah, that's possible. That's very possible right there. Okay, well then that should be everything on this one. All right, let's check the achievement. I don't think we got it yet, so we must still have one more after this, is my guess. What is it? Bangar, something with Bangar. Confer with Bangar. One more, Jormag's enemy, alright.
Champion, the energies deep beneath Tyria are churning. At first, the shift was so quiet I hardly noticed. But it's growing. And I'm afraid this is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's hard to miss the earthquakes now. Oh my gosh. That's what the random screen shakes have been. I was wondering. I was like, is there just some weird glitch going on? Is there just some... okay. I see it. Jormag's got to be involved.
Jormag, we need to...
It's not
I've been
Jormag.
waiting for you.
It's not
I'm
Jormag!
patient, Aurene. But I hope you'll be quicker to act in the days ahead.
Fusion. Earthquakes are always a good
Primordus.
sign.
His hunger will grow as he stirs. Destruction is not far off. You and your champion have already seen signs.
You
This is
knew
so
this
good and
would
crazy, I
happen,
love it.
But you still chose to impose your waking and Primordus's on the world.
And you chose not to intervene. Despite your power and potential, you left it to mortals.
Everybody's throwing around a lot of accusations right now.
It's their world as much as mine. There's nothing to be gained, and...
Oh, little sister. How wrong you are. Careful you don't learn the lesson too late.
Don't you dare hurt
So
my
then
Aurene
you
game.
kill him.
So help me.
That time will come, but not yet. My twin will awake, and he will set the world ablaze. Look to that world, Aurene. Very soon you will have to make a choice, if you are to have any chance of saving it.
I mean, I am super into the dragons talking to each other because I do think that this is amazing and I love it. I mean, I'm very into that. I'm not gonna lie. Because I like when dragons, we've talked about this a bit, do have that more, like, sentient element. And we knew, like, as time went on, it has been revealed more and more, you know, with Kralk and everything that has kind of led up there, that the dragons, like, are rational to some degree if other things don't affect them, right? So I was really hoping we would get something that would be more like diplomacy with the dragons, but I like that they've kind of combined this, like, very tense diplomacy, or are we just signing our souls off to the devil kind of thing, with, you know, another actual kind of fight threat. I don't know. I'm interested.
Hey, Commander. I'm headed to the Eye of the North with Braham. For a while now, he's been working up the nerve to have a talk with Jormag. I'm not sure why he asked me to come along. Hand-holding's more your thing. But I won't say no to a friend. Just so you know. In case you wanted to join. Rytlock.
Okay, bud. Otter, come join us. We have, yeah, we've got room. If anybody else wants to join, feel free. You can shout out in the guild chat or elsewhere.
Sure. Oh, good. The commander.
Hey, what's up?
Rytlock. Braham.
I'm fine.
I didn't.
He's been helping us clean up the last of the Dominion.
They've
Bram,
gone
you're not
pretty far.
fine.
Word got around about Bangar. They mostly fell apart. The ones who didn't, well, Imperator Stoneglow's no pushover.
Still no Ryland sightings, I take it?
No Frost Legion, no Ice Dragon, and yeah, no whatever.
Everybody's playing hard to get right now.
I'm not the only one with a bad feeling about that, right?
Jormag's spoken through Bangar a few times now. Hasn't said much.
Well, I'm in the mood for
Has been
answers.
just as infuriatingly
Let's
vague
get
as always.
My friends, you felt it too. The stirrings deep beneath us.
Earthquakes erupting all over Tyria.
So the Crystal Bloom have told me.
Jormag.
I don't believe it is.
Nope.
But something is moving.
Try a different one.
Something's coming.
But not the Elder Dragon. The older you get, the more I think you enjoy sounding
No, it's a
ominous.
different elder
I
dragon.
am an elder dragon after all.
Cage is awful close. They can't hear us, can they?
They can't hear anything in my presence, unless I allow it.
Now might be the time.
Okay.
Braham has some issues to work through.
So that's how they're able to, like, communicate, because Aurene will allow Jormag to hear.
Jormag's gonna tell you anything you don't already know?
Glorified megaphone. But you still love hearing yourself talk.
You know it's easier when you don't fight it. Take a breath. Jormag.
Jormag, I am Bram Erson. I've come to speak with you.
Aurene. Ah, you're amassing your warriors. They won't be any use.
You don't know us, Jormag!
You mean against the earthquakes?
My brother is incapable of subtlety. He stirs, and when he awakens, oh, it will not be with the same grace as I.
I like that they have this, like,
Grace.
complimentary, you know, sort of
Spirits
interplay with their
your evil,
personalities.
enacted out crimes for thousands of years.
I have a will to live and a right. If that is a crime, no one is innocent. Do not presume to know me.
But I do.
I mean,
I know exactly what
that's
you
true,
are.
but
I was raised on the stories and the prophecies.
Mortals, clinging to superstitions to give your brief lives meaning.
You are not invincible.
And so emotional. Aurene, you will never reach your
Jormag
potential
and
if you
Bram,
surround
just the
yourself with
worst
beings
combo
like
for
these.
this.
And reach it you must, for the sake of us all. The time has come to end Primordus.
I had a thought, but I'm gonna have to
That's
bookmark
not
it
my
super
goal.
fast and then
The
talk about it
balance can
immediately
still be
after.
maintained.
The balance is a fantasy. Another mortal superstition. Primordus will lay waste to this world. And you are not ready.
you are not prepared.
Hey, Commander, are you busy right
Taimi!
I mean, what is it, Taimi?
I'm so glad she's
now?
back!
Mythos and ley lines, keeping an eye out for Jormag like you asked.
Thanks, girl.
Haven't found Jormag, but we have found... Easier to show you the data. Could you come to Rata Sum?
I know I've had enough pompous dragons speaking for a pompous has-been for one day.
Rytlock! You should definitely come too. Soon.
Go, champion. Maybe Taimi can offer some clarity.
I'm so glad Taimi's back. One, that is very good, because we have all been wondering how that poor little angel is faring. That poor little brilliant angel. So, we'll see what happens, but please don't kill her this episode. Don't ever kill her. I just love her too much. I'm so gonna be so sad. So that's good. But the thought that I had, I would get my tin hat out and put it on top of my head if I had one. My thought that I had when we were talking earlier about the idea of the Char, who you would think would embody fire, but instead their kind of refusal to change, etc., 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 right? Being more almost in line with Jormag, and that Jormag picking, you know, like a champion that is Char in this sense is actually like a really interesting kind of reversal. And how I was going like, oh yeah, well, I wonder if the Norn are going to end up with some kind of affiliation then with Primordus and like reverse the elements that each of those races are kind of like affiliated with, in a sense, right? Which then made me wonder if this little dumb potato, who I love, who has become my bro, it was a long journey, didn't love him for a long time, but would this dumb potato be so against Jormag that he would choose to be like Primordus's champion? Because he is volatile, he is impatient, we know he's emotional, we know he has like all of these qualities that are almost more in line with like Primordus. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know anything, but so help me, you dumb little potato, we just became besties. Don't you dare do this to me. You just grew your hair back and it looks great. Haha! It's right here! It's right back towards the beginning again.
You do realize. Take it up with a council member once you've collected your freight. See if I won't. Finally, Commander.
Everything okay?
According to the Arcane Council, the sanctity of independent research is superseded by other priorities. Taimi's out at the Advanced Metamystics Lab. I'll get you to the gate. Then I have to cut through some pernicious red tape.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Shout and be convincing. We need recruits. Our numbers are falling.
Mist Warrior.
It's your turn to dance and sing. I'm exhausted. The Mist War will still be there tomorrow. Join the battle.
This little friend is a big 2020 mood. Like, all the problems of the world will still be there tomorrow. Let me eat my pizza tonight in peace. Thank you.
Tell me I'm not seeing
Oh, I see, I see.
Frostbleed.
There just wasn't an
Apparently,
actual...
the Arcane Council invited them. And Ryland.
What?
You could have led with that, Gorig.
Ah, the Pact Commander.
Hey.
Welcome.
Oh god! Who let him out of his cage?
You've come to hear Taimi's findings.
Put him back in it!
Do you have any idea who you've let in here? What he's done?
Ryland Steelcatcher, champion of Jormag. He commands the Ice Dragon's forces.
Don't say that in such a chill way!
Rata Sum is no Char battlefield. What's done is done, Commander.
The Arcane Council deals in the present and the future. Jormag is awake.
Yeah, because of him.
Which means Primordus will not be far behind.
Facing a common enemy, alliance is logical. I'd think the Pact Commander would recognize the value of this arrangement.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
The Asura have studied Primordus for ages. Foolish not to seek their knowledge. And Jormag's no fool.
Oh, sure. As Elder Dragons go, Jormag's pretty reasonable.
Exactly.
I mean,
Jormag
yeah,
and
but...
I keep our word. When Primordus rises, we will erase him out of existence.
But what are you gonna do after it? That's the question.
How about you return my bow? You know, the one you stole.
Now, why would I hand you a weapon you think can hurt Jormag? Act first, think later, right?
I mean...
Don't worry. I'll keep it safe for you.
Oh, I'm getting it back.
Braham, why don't you help Gorig with his delivery on the docks? Rytlock and I can handle this.
Sure. Why not?
And I mean, like, here's the thing, though. Braham's supposed to be the one who kills Jormag, but if he were or if he were Primordus' champion, and then that's what did it to strike. I'm just like gonna ride. I'm so far down the rabbit hole on this one, everybody. Dum Dum wants shooty stick. I mean, you know, that bow is, I guess, is like an entire legacy that means a lot to him. But yeah, big old Dumbo with his shooty stick right here. Go pick up heavy things, Braham. Just don't get drunk. Don't get shwasted, because that's how you lost the bow in the first place. So, go take care of some stuff. I do love, though, seeing some of the personality of the Asura here, right? Like, the differences in races is really fun in Guild Wars 2. And I think, like, each race really does have unique and interesting lore and culture. And the fact that the Asura very practically would be like, well, I mean, this is a logical solution. Like, the Norn have their own kind of inherent prejudice against, and with, you know, with a reason, not irrationally, but they have their own kind of, like, reasoning for being very opposed to an alliance with Jormag, right? Like, they've witnessed firsthand Jormag's not as good intentions, you know? And that's the big caveat here. I mean, just because Jormag is not actively seeking to destroy doesn't mean that Jormag is going to act in a way that would have mortal life in their best interest, you know? Which does make Jormag, I think, very interesting, but I'm just curious to see, like, how they're gonna maybe tip the balance on this. Like, will Jormag end up actually being the real true villain the whole time and it's been a switcheroony, or will they both, or will Jormag come round or witness something because of this, like, bonds to a champion, or because of Aurene that changes how they perceive mortality? I don't know.
Above all crap.
Oh, now you want to talk to me, instead of just shouting my name. Spend some time with Jormag. I see the bigger picture now. Everyone has a role to play.
Oh, great! Commander,
But
you
what
made
is
it.
the
I won't have to
role?
go through this twice. I've been tracking the quakes, needles all over the place. Way more than ordinary tectonic movement.
Can you tell if it's Primordus?
Some readings mimic Primordus' signature.
Oh, she got a little
some
stool.
ley energy, and I still haven't figured out this spike.
That can't be right. We've never seen activity this far below the crust.
So many blips, literally all over the map, like bodies burrowing up.
And where exactly can we expect these bodies to surface?
That's not good.
Where can't we? I mean, just look at this.
I mean, oh god. We already know that at least some of the dwarves have been affected by Primordus. But what other things is it gonna summon from the depths, you know? Okay, so we get a bunch of different objectives all over the map.
How long have you been seeing movement under Rata Sum?
What? No. That is very, very not good.
Well, destroyer time maybe? Oh yes it is. Oh yeah, that would be it. Oh hey! And a little bit of the mechanic from the fractal with the like meteor drops and like radiant AoE damage. That's neat. I like that bit of kind of building up mechanical understanding there. So we can see by those like tiered rings that it's going to do damage that's more concentrated at the center. Take it down. So far, just straight up destroyers. Nothing too new or too fancy. Dredge! That totally looks like a corrupted dredge, right?
Is it me, or were these destroyers harder to kill than last time?
I don't know, they went down kind of fast.
Meaner too.
I mean, if Primordus is waking up, then I mean, yeah, they're gonna get meaner and stronger.
Destroyer problem on the docks. Could use some hands here.
One sec. Got it. I programmed the gate for a one-way trip harborside.
Let's go.
CP's like, yeah, I really just like how shredded his body is. His mane is really beautiful. His scars are hot. I mean, he's an attractive char, yes. He does very much channel scar energy, like, from actual... Oh, it's outside the instance. Wait. Didn't they say it was down at the docks? Do we have to, like, leave into that? Oh, I see. This is gonna take us around and through. I got you. Primordus doesn't have corrupted minions as far as we know, so it just creates destroyers. I mean, it's gonna corrupt some stuff, though. Right? There's not a single dragon that hasn't. I guess it could just create... Oh. I don't know how I feel about this ice portal. I don't know how I feel about all these corrupted char. I don't know. Oh, well. I mean, they are here as allies. They're here as allies, I'm going to tell myself. But it does make me extremely nervous having just spent essentially this whole entire saga combating pretty much exactly these enemies or iterations of them. I mean, we know that Aurene has been able to, like, leave a mark, unlike Kaith, for example, right? Without necessarily, it seems, compromising Kaith's agency. But I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case here with Jormag, you know what I mean? So he's a cat? Who doesn't like cats? He corrupts rocks. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he animates rock, right? Which does make sense as well with the dwarves who were, like, you know, turned into rock. But it's interesting. Because all the others have had some kind of iteration of being able to affect living creatures, right? So it does seem, it would seem like it would be really strange if Primordus didn't also have that ability. Maybe it does, or maybe he does, but he just chooses not to. Oh, or Braham, who was born as if his head were as thick and dense as a rock. Yeah.
We'll stay up here.
Obi, the dwarves that we saw were absolutely intentional and purposeful. I have no doubt.
Go for it, my back.
Oh, the music in here real good, though. Yeah, I mean, from the moment that we got that little aside where we glimpsed the dwarves, and then there's the collection, and we learned that, like, you know, those dwarves obviously seem to be animated by and then under the influence of Primordus, is what we get if you do that little, like, journal collection from the, pool mission. So I do think they're going to play a role in some way. I do think, you know, maybe if we don't see them before the expansion, I feel like we might see them in the expansion. New playable race is as likely as Half-Life 3. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, I'll be honest. I don't think that it is impossible, but I do think it's important to note that there's no precedent for it thus far in the game. Like, right now would be a time that something like Tengu would make absolute sense, right? We know that at least originally Tengu was a race that they wanted to be playable in the game and just weren't able to realize. Tengu and their ties to Cantha would make sense. We've seen some updates and upgrades to Tengu models and like some additional sort of options for them. So is it completely impossible? No. But we've never gotten a new race. So it's one of those things where it's like there's not really anything that would ever tell us that we should expect this, and they have not announced anything concerning it. But they might, you know, there might be a little bit of possibility there. Stone Summit dwarves we saw in the Vision of the Past are definitely under some kind of influence. It really seems like it was Primordus, yeah.
I was expecting you to have my back.
You dying doesn't help us kill Primordus, Commander.
You honestly expect us to believe this Alliance stuff?
Doesn't really matter.
They sure are putting on a good show, though, aren't they?
Where did these destroyers even come from?
1 minute we're checking crates, and the next they're bubbling up from the water. Never seen. Taimi, move!
Oh, jeez.
Protect the council.
It's not over yet. Whoa. Only way that they could do that is to give Tengu their own armor class. I mean, they've adapted for Char, you know what I mean? And granted, while it's not a perfect adaptation, it's also not like... I think they probably have some sort of, you know, flexible way that they have accommodated that. But again, we have no idea. We have no idea.
Wildly from archival accounts of destroyers. Also, it's gigantic.
Spearhead a study of these creatures. Catalog the evolutionary discrepancies. Identify any weaknesses.
Let's pool resources. If I can isolate a clearer signature, we can pinpoint when and where they'll show up.
I'd like to leave a small force in your city to wait for any information. And to protect our...
Oh, hell no!
The Asura are more than capable of guarding our city. But we are grateful for the gesture and the alliance.
When Primordus is destroyed, Jormag will see your former home restored to you.
You can't possibly promise that.
Of course I can. I'm the champion of Jormag.
We need to spread the word.
But that's what
Jormag
Jormag does.
Tremor, they've got to prepare.
Promise what others
I'll
want.
pass the word on my way. Might want to put the crystal bloom on it too.
I'm gonna stay here. Keep an eye on things for a bit.
I have one whole concern. This is like, because we know, but all these other groups or races that might be like, oh, look at how reasonable Ryland is. And I'm like, you did not go through and watch while Coden told me about how he ate other Coden because Jormag whispered at him. So when you've gone through that messed up collection, then you can come talk to me about how you want to have an alliance and all Jormag's minions inside of your city. You cool with all of them? I don't know, cannibalizing each other? Sweet, then yeah, invite them on in. You know, if you're cool with your people doing that, invite them on in.
So sure of the world, aren't you? Is it your youth? The manner of your birth? Living among them?
All these vague warnings, but you're not actually telling me anything. Why not find a way to keep Primordus asleep?
Primordus must die. There is no alternative. Your champion survived this day. I doubt that luck will hold.
You knew about the destroyers at Rata Sum?
I know all that my champion knows. It's special, isn't it, Aurene? The bond with one's champion? I'll leave you to yours.
I do not like the way that they said
For what
that.
it's worth, I do believe Jormag wants to be free of Primordus.
I'll buy that. But what happens once Jormag gets what Jormag wants? And who gets caught in the crossfire? This isn't just a Char or Norn issue anymore. Tyria is about to have a serious destroyer and dragon problem. It's going to take all of us.
I won't leave you without support. I can give you something of myself to help as you face Primordus's vanguard.
Oh,
Aurene, Tyria needs us. All of us. And we need you.
Energy this volatile. I fear my presence would only exacerbate things.
Because of all the different, like, energy sources
No.
she's taken in.
I'll do what I can from here. The rest is up to you.
That does make me very worried, though. That does make me very worried. Because we thought that Aurene was, like, one of the only ones that could handle all of these different insane magics. But if she's been holed up in here, and or not acting against Primordus because she hid in something, I'm gonna be very worried. Also, yes, I realized that I thought that they had let Bangar out of his cage, but it was actually Ryland showing up. They all got ice effects on them. I was not expecting Ryland to just be there, but I've sorted it out now. This does make me a little bit worried. I loved when Aurene was little and would fly around the maps with us. We do have a special bond, but I raised her. And we trust each other and believe in each other. I just don't like the way that Jormag phrases that. It makes it sound so dirty and weird. Alright, except...
You there?
Hey, Taimi. How's the research going?
Making headway? There's a signal from under the city that's getting stronger. Some of my team still haven't evacuated.
Well, get them on it! Get them out! What do you mean they still haven't? You gotta go fast! You got anything more to say for yourself? No? Alright, you rude popsicle. My girl have anything else to say for herself? Other than telling me what's going on? So I don't have to be worried about her? As her mother / compatriot? Aurene, let me speak to you! Oh, she's so beautiful.
Commander, you read? Watchful Source is about to become the next destroyer hotspot.
Sylvari lands. Get word to Kate.
I'm already here, and so are the destroyers. Come quickly. Sounds like you'll need more help. I'll see what I can scrounge.
I see. So we have to go to several different spots and do this then. 2 more times? Okay, alright, alright. Look! Wait! Oh, Flunt, get out! But Cree's beautiful and I love her. Logan, he's alright. Everybody else so good, though. Farron! Farron's not my best friend in this one. In fact, I'm so large, I look like I could crush his little beautiful face. I can pick him up and carry him over my shoulder. Do a bridal-style carry on this man. Oh, Otter, you're fine, no worries. If you had to take care of something, I understand. The legions are still fractured, but thanks to your help, we've held together. We'll repay that debt, Commander. About Ryland. He's made his choices. I only hope he's ready to accept the consequences. Me too. Talk to me, everybody. Fighting verms and awaken gets old after a while. I'm ready to punch Jormag square in the face. Time to end that legend. Have you met with Braham? Not in a long time. Prophecy or not, he's worthy of his name, though. He cracked Jormag's tooth.
His mother would have been proud of how far he's come. He'd be happy to hear that.
Hi.
Hey. I've been calling in every favor I can to bring allies to the front lines. We'll scrape together every last volunteer regardless of where they're from. How is the pack holding up? Maguma, Kralkatorok, Almora? I won't try to embellish it. The pact is strained. But we've only a few dragons left, right? Would be pointless to stop now after we've accomplished so much. You're right about that. How are you holding up? Professionally? Oh, busy fighting the good fight like everyone else. Personally? I've spent what little free time I have socializing, though a gentleman never tells. Glad you've moved on. Get it, bud! Proud of you, buddy! Great job! Who's it with? You and me, we'll get a drink afterwards, we'll gossip. You can give me the hot goss. Ugh, Flunt, worst. I have elected to serve as a delegate for our collaboration. Also, I'm still the worst. In the matter of Primordis, our research gets us ever so closer to its demise. Your research may end up giving Jormag an advantage. Your critique is both obvious and unnecessary. Primordis has been the bane of my people for generations. Its defeat will be an important milestone in our history. Jormag is just as dangerous. Both Elder Dragons must be dealt with. Yeah, Flunt! These destroyers seem to be free of Zaitan's or Mordramoth's magic. An astute observation. Primordis' slumber may have allowed it time to process the foreign magic, or alter itself to accommodate it. We don't really know at this point. Now that's interesting. Because if we think that Aurene is hiding something from us, we think she's being sneaky about something, or she's having problems reconciling this energy within her. If Primordis has figured out a way to do this, that could be something that could help Aurene, right? Brisban Wildlands Dragon Response Mission. It's so convenient that they let you just queue into these from here. Not like it's actually that convenient or inconvenient to have to like waypoint places, but this is nice though. Private. Let's do it. It's also clever reusing some of the maps and things, some of these like areas and instances. It kind of gives us the sense of revisiting some of these locations and like how the world is being affected by it without them having to completely overhaul the maps, you know?
Any defenses?
A few, but they weren't meant for this. It's all in disarray.
Let's do what we can do.
Okay, so red is extra challenge modifiers, blue is extra help, factions that you can call in, which is neat. I love it. All right. I had to boogie for just like 1 second. I had to rock out for 1 second. Now let's get in here. Okay, so same kind of deal. We need to get rid of source fires. We need to activate mortar seed turrets. Look at you going! Okay. Water bucket. Is there a fire nearby? Yep. Woo! Oh, there's one. I do like that here in like the Sylvari homeland, our big concern is everything, all the plant matter and everything catching on fire. Because this whole place could just go up like kindling, you know what I mean? It is definitely a real threat. Oh, I got you, I got you, I got you. So the little ones give you might if you run through them. The building fire is what we need to actually extinguish to get credit. All right. Okay, let's grab water. Let's extinguish. I got a boy attacking, he's coming for me, but that's okay. We have too many watchfires. We're good. We need more destroyers killed, so let's do that. I will always go ahead and kill some boys. It's very nice and brain dead just to burn things down. I guess no fire pun intended, but you know, here we are. Okay. 19 out of 25. Oh, we need some more. Let's go run over here. And back here. We're at 22 out of 25 now. We're good. Kind of a fun little, like, timed trial here. I'm curious to see how the different modifiers, like, affect the difficulty of it, right? It seems like some of them could get pretty challenging. Take these boys down. We're good, we've met all the goals. Obi. Actually not sure if you need to do these objectives or if it's just a countdown period to when it, like, actually begins. Huh. When you public fight this, you get a party of 5 that join, like, an automated looking for group. And then when 5 people finish the first event, you get the party locked in. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they've done some unique things with this. Some new stuff with the systems on this. I wonder if they're kind of moving towards maybe doing something like this for future story missions. Like, this will be a format that we kind of see where you can just sort of, like, queue in with people for these story events if you want, or choose to solo them. That would be really nice to have that option, honestly. Who is over here making sad, weird panting noises? Oh, well. One of them's dead, so she, you know what, that's... Girl, you... Girl, you don't need to worry about seizing the moment right now. You just seize the staying alive.
Cleared for now.
This village won't withstand another attack.
If we can trace these destroyers back
Yeah,
to
but
their source,
Avarice,
perhaps we can cut
having
them off
it
for good.
actually be
Steel
like
catcher?
just
Sir
a
said
part
some
of the game is
Safari were under
really
attack.
nice.
You Arene's cave?
Something like that.
Where's your
Ryland.
Frost Legion?
Overkill. Think you'll
Dumbo.
find me more than sufficient.
Big Dumbo.
Unless you don't want my help
I
saving
don't.
these people. That doesn't sound like you, Commander.
Appreciate the extra hand. Time is of the essence. This way.
When do I get a cool skin effect like everybody else does as a champion? I want a cool prismatic, like, crackle effect. Yeah, but what I was saying is that, like, having it built into the actual, just like, here's your instance and you can just automatically, like, assemble is really convenient, especially for players that may not be, like, used to listing and looking for group or, you know, stuff like that. It's nice to kind of, I think, always provide those, like, really smooth transitions or shortcuts to things, which is really nice. Avarice, if we can get a party together that wants to run some stuff and, like, schedule it, I will do raids on stream. I will do them on stream. I just probably won't stream our, like, nighttime raid. We'd have to, like, find a group and get everybody assembled. Let's see which I'll get. Help me find the source of the rampaging destroyers. I'll help.
To your Rytlock son.
Technically, the least important thing about me. You should care more about the salient parts.
Such as?
Such as, we're the only 3 people in the world who know what it's like to be close to an elder dragon.
Changes you. It's like finding your purpose and fulfilling it.
I didn't find my purpose. I made it. No more climbing the ranks of other people's armies. Jormag sees me. Sees my worth.
The fact that Jormag did not compel him is very interesting to me. Like, I mean, granted, they seemed to know that that's what, you know, he wanted, and maybe just chose to do that, I don't know, as a tactic? But it makes me like a little bit hopeful that maybe they were allowing him agency in his choice, right? Like, if you are going to be my champion, you will do it of your own volition.
A dragon's voice can be seductive.
Were you coerced? Was Kate? I have agency, thank you. I can make my own choices. No persuasion needed.
The commander's right to be wary. When it comes to elder dragons, Aurene is often the exception, not the rule.
I mean, that's true.
You've been the dragon champion for a while, Commander. Sharing the spotlight, that's gotta change.
Okay. Alright, you little shit. If he does not turn evil, I might still kill him anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. I mean, it is interesting though, because technically we did hear Aurene's voice before she ever spoke, right? Like, she spoke in our mind to us, although we don't hear her doing it all the time now. Which makes me wonder if she just doesn't do it because she's polite, or like if the nature of our bond is different, or, you know? There's a lot, we have a lot of questions here, which I feel like they're starting to slowly kind of like pick apart, which is really fun for me. I actually really, really love kind of seeing how each of the people affected by this bond with the Elder Dragons kind of has a different relation to it. I think it does give us a really like different sort of, I don't know, way to sort of perceive it. Also, I love that she's helping us out with a little prismatic crystal friend. Underdark, sleep well, take care of yourself. Lurking from the car, what kind of pizza did you get? I saw that you're going straight to Pizza Town. Now it just makes me want to order pizza tonight. We have so much leftover barbecue, I don't need pizza. Avarice and brighter news.
Make you a real asset.
You sound surprised.
I'd heard that Crystal Bloom aren't big on frontline fighting.
Support can take many forms. Like Aurene, we focus on healing and restoration. The world needs stability, order.
Who defines order? Who controls it?
It's not about control. It's about the responsibility we all have to one another.
You're telling me Aurene's got all that power? She won't even use it?
She supports us in ways she deems appropriate.
Playing defense just preserves the status quo. You don't lose anything. You also don't gain anything.
I don't see Jormag playing offense against Primordus. Seems to me your Elder Dragon's more about hiding, whispering.
Waiting for the right moment to strike isn't hiding. Every attack needs a strategy.
How does this fit into your strategy? You've already betrayed one.
Bangar's a relic. He thinks the world is a much smaller place than it is. We know different.
There's so much interesting stuff happening, I'm like, I don't want to talk over it! The conversation is so good! It's so good! I mean, my hopes for a Dragon Champion Council, I think, are not completely unfounded. I'm gonna keep holding on to them with all my strength. These different perspectives and the idea of balance, right? Like the idea that all of these together could be a more balanced approach. And yet the fact that oftentimes like differing opinions or approaches can create divisions as well, unless we find a way to sort of bring peace and all work towards peace actively, or like understanding actively. I'm interested. I know Otter Ryland is sounding pretty like, I mean, we know he's kind of power hungry, right? It does not just sound benign. You know what I mean? Oh wait, is mastery point? Oh, thank you. I'm over here thinking about all this big dragon lore we're getting. I didn't even notice the mastery point. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's down here. Let's grab that. Okay, and I wanted to see really fast, Avarice, you were talking about good news. You finished your first third of your first year of dental school. Hey, congratulations, Avarice. How are you liking it? And how goes, like, attending dental school in quarantine, in COVID? Are you doing, like, a lot of stuff remotely, or what's the sort of jam? Thumbs up. You gain a cool dragon friend, though. I mean, look, I'm not gonna complain. Like, here's the thing. I am not going to complain about getting a cool dragon friend. If there were only evil dragons and we had the option to, you know, choose to become a dragon friend, I'd still be like, yes, 110%. Sign me up. What evil agenda are we doing today? I'm ready. It was worth it. Also, I mean, like, how cool would it be to fight with a whole bunch of champions against some sort of totally crazy threat? Like, what if we all had magic dragon powers? I'm just saying, wouldn't the world be a better place?
Right, Commander?
Okay. Well, yeah, we can handle this. This is fine. I mean, it's also possible that, like, I'm theorizing about Primordius right now, right? It's interesting to me that so many of Primordius's creations do mimic life. Because we were talking earlier about the fact that, as far as we know, it doesn't seem like Primordius has ever actually branded something. Primordius has created destroyers out of, like, earth that it then animates, right? Now, granted, it does seem like it is using the dwarves, though they are technically stone as well.
Check out those fissures.
But, like, here, I mean, like, this destroyer looks a lot like Karka. Like, we've seen a lot of these almost like it is mimicking other life forms and then creating them to some degree. Everest, it was absolutely fantastic learning remotely. All of the classes are remote. You can go do them in person, but few do. You have once a week a 6-hour session to practice your practical skills like modeling teeth, preparing them for fillings. Hey, Everest, that's awesome. It sounds like it's been a really good change then. I mean, like, would you normally, like, in the program otherwise, have had to have been there every day, kind of in person sort of deal? This one is Destroyer of the Crystal Fields. So not a dwarf here. But maybe, again, like a nod to the history of Primordius's reach or destruction. They're even named trolls, crabs, and harpies. State of Decay, why did I quit Final Fantasy XIV? I didn't! We still play Final Fantasy XIV really actively. We just played it last week. This week we have new content in Guild Wars 2. So we're doing the new content, and then we're also, because Halo 4 came out, we're also doing Halo 4 content. So tomorrow we're doing a full playthrough of Halo 4 with the Master Chief Collection, which is like a special additional collaboration stream that we've been doing, me playing through the Halos for the very first time with one of our moderators. But I do every Saturday talk on the Aetheryte Radio podcast, which is a Final Fantasy XIV podcast, broadcast on twitch.tv Gamerscape. You can always catch me there. We also now play through a Final Fantasy XIV D&D campaign some weekends over there with Aetheryte Radio, so definitely tune in. And then usually each week when we have normal content and normal release schedules, we do at least one day of Final Fantasy XIV, at least one day of Guild Wars 2, and then usually on Friday a Variety Day, so... Yeah, I forgot about the game and I'll never play it ever again. Rikil, you deserve lots of hugs too. Yeah, we still play very much. We actually just announced too some RP content that's coming for our FC and for people who might want to participate even if you're not a part over on Crystal DC. So if you haven't seen that yet, check that out in the Final Fantasy XIV channel on Discord. You don't even really remember how to play Phantasy Star? Or something different? Like, which one is it? It's probably not PSO, because you would have put the actual O at the end. Sorry, OB. I'm just trying to always call you out for the weeb ways that I just know you secretly have somewhere. Oh, dang! Oh, dang! Okay. Phalanx strength. Oh, I got you. I got you. Oh, he's got 1%. Get him. Got him. Crystal Fields Destroyer down.
The powers Aurene gave you work today, but you'll face worse before it's over. Terria's gonna need more than healing when Primordis comes.
I wish Aurene were taking a more active role. She's hesitating, and I'm not sure why.
She's experienced a lot in her short life. Perhaps more than you or I ever will. Certainly in ways we never will. But I trust she has reasons for the choices she makes. More than that, I have faith in her. Have faith, Commander.
I do have faith, but I wish she would also have communication with me. I wish she would tell me, and then we can share this burden equally. You know what I mean? Ugh, we can share it equally. Decay, how many subscription games do I have? PS Warrior back when Wing 1 came out, those were the days. Obi, because of like changes with the patches and balancing, did it become irrelevant? I mean, Synth, I know, but still. I feel like there's something bigger going on that Aurene should be telling us about that would like affect our understanding of things. And like maybe she's just not saying anything because, you know, we can't really have an aside just the two of us. Maybe she'll just whisper it into my brain at some point and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I didn't want everyone else to panic, but I might explode. Like there's a lot of possibilities here. I'm not totally sure.
It's been a long time, Commander.
Marjorie!
Hello, Jory. How are you?
I was doing a lot better before destroyers started crawling outside Lion's Arch.
Destroyers? No Frostlead?
No. Why? Think we should give him a call? Make this a real party?
I love Jory so much. I love Jory so much.
Showing up all over the Gendarran Fields, moving into position. Fortunately, Javi's brought the Vigil to help evacuate. Also sent word that any other allied faction in the area would be most appreciated. Hopefully they show.
The more the merrier. I'll be there as soon as I can.
I need more Kaz and Jory in my life always. 110%. Just need more.
That can't happen.
Okay. Ahead, Commander, at the Ascalonian settlement.
Marjorie, I told you to fall back and regroup near the gates.
And I told you that won't happen. I won't abandon these people because their livelihoods are strategically inconvenient.
No time to argue.
Story is so good.
Commander, help us clear the fields and get the survivors to safety.
And Javi's here too. Nice. Javi is cool. I hope we get to see more of her. I do really like her as a character. I think she's interesting. Obi, I have a feeling it will come with more story, right? I imagine it'll probably start kind of where this left off and like resume more dragon missions, and we'll do those and probably get some more like dialogue and stuff in between. And then I assume, my guess would be that there would be some sort of like...
We're going to need some more help. Just putting that out there.
There would be some more like a cutscene at the end to sort of wrap it up, is my guess. Sorry, we're getting pummeled by a whole bunch of angry destroyers, and my brain is all over the place right now. I'm just trying to get milk up, but all I'm doing is getting set on fire. I got you. Alright, we're a little more stable now. Let's get milk up. Yeah, so I'm hoping that probably with this next portion we're gonna get a little bit more there, with a bit of the story to sort of like give us the feeling of the chapter's kind of resolution, if you will, or like what it's leading towards next. But I don't know. We haven't necessarily had this formula before, so... Help innocent civilians get to the bridge. Put out fires using buckets from the town well. Kill destroyers. I can do that. I can do that real good. That was a huge wave right at the start. Dolls, a lot of the Guild Wars 2 community is confused. I mean, yeah, we don't know right now, right? Like, my sort of overarching guess on a lot of this, and we talked about it a little bit in other Guild Wars 2 streams, is that we've seen Saga appear because they're trying to kind of move away from the Living Season format and like what it used to be, right? So like when Living Season was created, that idea that it was going to be all of these like active, short-lived events that you could only get if you were playing in the game itself, and you know, all of that sort of stuff, when it was released, and then it was gone forever. Like, we have moved away from that, obviously, so that people can get ongoing story and content and enjoy it, which I think is great, and not have it like expire, and have that work still be seen. So I'm thinking they're kind of moving away from that, and with that we might also have new formats, sort of like how they were talking about, you know, we may not have a map, like a whole new map every single time. So we've seen the maps kind of broken up in different parts, but then we've also seen the way that they do storytelling on that be super interesting, and some of the new features and things added to those maps really get fleshed out. So maybe this will set precedent for how these things will go in the future, but I don't know, we're just gonna have to see. It could just be this saga too. Who knows? I'm just gonna use a revive orb. I got some. I got some and I don't mind. Each DRM seems to have a pair of NPCs. Each Dragon Response mission has a pair of NPCs and bits of story. Yeah. I do like that there's a little bit of a random element with this though too, with like different paths and things that could possibly pop up, so that we have some like different ones to cycle through or try out. And maybe your first pass through is not like the end all be all of everything. With time gated stuff as well, thought it was more dragging it out leading into X-Pack. I gotcha. Dolls, I mean, I'm sure a lot of the player base is gonna be like, are they just trying to buy time? Which they probably are, to be honest. But, I mean, whatever they can do to sort of sustain their model and still give story and content for players.
They're swarming the Ascalonian settlement. Where are those reinforcements?
Fall back to Lion's Arch. You know we can't save everyone.
Okay.
These settlers lost everything once already, Javi. This isn't what I signed up for, and neither did you.
Damn it! Vigil, reinforce the settlement. Move it!
Okay.
It's there. Now we can push back those destroyers.
So we should have another champion popping up, I'm guessing. Yes, as we go this way, it looks like it. Yeah, pretty much everybody is like on expansion development right now. But hey, it's fun. We're getting regular content. The story's been really interesting. There are mastery points. Yes, we got the first 2, dolls. Also, how have you been? How's it going? We haven't gotten whichever one is in this instance, though. I don't think we've found it yet. Maybe that's where you marked. Yeah. I like that this one is so open. You actually do kind of have to explore around for it, which is neat. Oh, you're fine. You're good. You're good. Thank you for the heads up.
Don't give them a chance to regroup.
Working while watching. Oh, I hope your working is going well. I hope you're making a lot of, you know, a lot of important spreadsheets. A lot of very, you know, important phone calls. Ozzy, you're over a year behind in the game. You have to pick it up again at some point before the expansion. Ozzy, I mean, that's the great thing about Guild Wars 2, though, honestly. You're never too far behind to get back into it, honestly. It's so, you know, like, non-demanding. I'm trying to think of good words for this. Non-demanding on its players, just as far as catching up goes. The story and all that kind of stuff, you'll be able to absolutely get through. There's a lot of really good content that came out with the saga. You know, if there's any that you might have missed that you haven't downloaded or, like, patched in with the Living Season/Saga that we're in now, I'm sure they're going to be putting a lot of them on sale or, like, giving them away for free leading up. Wait, hold on! What? That's cool! I love that! Give me more of that right there! So yeah, you can always get back into it. You can always like catch up. You can always snag stuff. There's probably going to be episodes given away for free and all sorts of stuff, or you can pick them up. And there is actually going to be a gem store sale, actual gem sale coming up here in NA. So they've been doing a lot of sort of promotional stuff and giveaways and all sorts of things. That watch night is so neat. It reminds me of the big marionette, you know? You just chill anyway. Oh yeah, Ozzy, then you'll have a lot of great stuff to power through when you get up to expansion release. That's so good, I love it. Kuro, it is a really good time to get back into Guild Wars 2, honestly. And this season has been so good. It's been so fun. I mean, certain people have liked or disliked various elements of it. That always happens with story and arcs, but I really overall think that their storytelling and direction has been so good this season. And even the prologue episode, like, it blew me away. The other ones haven't been quite as, like, massive in scale. They've been more, you know, sort of steadily paced, and the maps as they come together are really cool. But I definitely think it has been a really solid release. Original Watch Nights and the Marionette were both designed by Scarlet. So were the Watch Nights here repurposed by, like, the guard and stuff? And are now used as a line of defense? Because that's super cool. What if instead of a new weapon, we just get the, like, Golemancer, right? Everybody's been talking about it. Foxy, you've been using your gems to buy Living World seasons. I mean, they're super good. I, at first, was a little bit hesitant when I got into the game to, like, pay for patches, right? But when I actually started getting them and the story was so phenomenal and what they gave you was much closer to, like, a miniature expansion with all the new stuff and different things that you can get, I was like, oh, yeah, oh, geez, yes. For the barely any money that I spend on this, yes. I think you've only played the prologue for Living Season 4. Oh. Oz, you'll have to tell us what you think when you get to it. How's everything else going for you? Everything else hanging in there? Family and everyone doing all right as we head towards the holidays and Thanksgiving, which is a weird time in a pandemic. Scarlet gave Watch Night to the Seraphis additional guards, but it was a trick and they turned. Ah, so later they repurposed them so they wouldn't be murdery, that they could actually use them as they were initially promised. That's cool. I like that a lot, and I really like that they have, like, picked up on that and remembered it and brought it in here. Because look at how good they are! God, I need a skin that looks like that. What if there was an outfit that looked like that, though? Ember Knight is an interesting one as well. If you've been playing recently, regularly, the last required purchase was September 2017, as Living World episodes unlock for free, right, if you're in the game when they release and they patch in. There's a tonic for it! We might need that. We might need that tonic, though, is the thing. That's pretty good, though. Oh, geez. Oh, God! Flaming vortexes are my least favorite! Why have we done this? Destroyer of the Great Bridge. Oh. I like all these titles. I feel like they all must be references to the past devastations that Primordus wrought, right? Like, these became his champions or something because they did X, Y, or Z. Some of them I kind of get. Other ones I'm not totally sure about. Like, I don't know if the Great Bridge, do we know exactly what that's a reference to? Oh, I got you. We're gonna hover hand you back to life. Oh, Season 5. Season 5, I got you. I was like, oh my gosh, Ozzy hasn't played Season 4 yet? There's so much that happens in that one. Obi, that's such an appropriate and good reward for that. That's awesome. Okay, so we have these fissures we need to destroy. Oh, man. There is a lot happening. Also, you summoned so many little undead rats. It's not often I just get to watch the Necro do its business. Okay, so we need one more fissure to destroy over here, it looks like. Oh geez, oh boy, oh man, oh geez. Oh my god, I keep panic hitting. I just need to remap. I keep going down and then panic hitting while I'm trying to dodge roll. Oh, and you can buy the old one. That's neat. Alright, we got a little bit fire-nadoed. That's okay. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you can't help it. You just get carried away. Alright, alright, alright. We're doing good, everyone. I know. Dolls, the music is so good. I was talking about it earlier. I was just like, oh, jeez. All the music that they've done with, like, the Icebrood Saga and these different episodes, I especially love, like, I still think the little snippets that you hear on Bjorn Marches, some of my favorite music in the entire game. I wish you could just toggle it so that you played that the entire time. Just got the track on loop in the background. Oh, it's amazing. Alright, where are we headed next? Where are we headed next? We've got the reinforcements coming in over here, it looks like. It would have been pretty wild if they had figured out or done some kind of way. I mean, it's so tough though. Like, how would you control having this be actually like out in the open world? You know what I mean? It is so specifically tailored with this kind of stuff and in the achievement systems that it makes sense for it to be in an instance. But it would be really, really neat to see like these kinds of assaults popping up all over the maps. I think that they have, like, obviously we've had a few things that have kind of heralded some of this with the earthquakes and stuff, but all right. Oh, up here. I see the boars. Oh, I see. This is a cool spot to finish it off. Got tornadoes everywhere! I'm deep in Focus Town right now, everybody. Apologies. These are a little spicy. They're not too mechanically punishing. They're definitely below strike missions, right? Like, this isn't necessarily something that we're having to super coordinate, but they definitely do a good chunk of damage. And with some of the additional modifiers, I imagine that they do get spicier even. Hey, Mule! You did your first day of work. How did it go? Did you have to go in or are you working from home? Oh, he's down 4%, 4%, 4%, 3%. Hey! Ozzy, our strike mission's something new.
If we want to beat Primordus, we aren't just fighting Primordus. When we win, we need to be able to live with the decisions we made. If we abandon the weak, what's that say about the world we're fighting for? What's even the point?
And if we all die fighting, those ideals won't matter. There's a line. We need to be on the right side of it.
And today we were. Primordus tried to surprise us. He failed. Good work, all of you.
You too, Commander. And thanks.
It's clever how they've put characters together in these that have opposing views, right? We keep getting these like little recurring snippets of theme about balance, and we know that with the dragons, right, killing the first couple was a big no-no and we whoopsie-daddled it, you know? Like, to just have that energy, it needs to be like contained and then, you know, put into the world again and renewed, and the dragons do that in a lot of ways. So Aurene, there's been a big question about, you know, well, can she actually saddle all of this from all of the other elder dragons? Can she take their place as the only one? Which it seems like maybe we're getting a little something about, like her being unable to reconcile it, but Primordus perhaps having a way that it was able to sort of merge all those different magics that influenced it. And then we get these themes about, right, like the idea of balance in a less magical sense and in a more sort of coming together of people sense, right? The idea of old and new beliefs, different NPCs that we see in these missions that I think represent different viewpoints that are really important. I like that. I think it's neat, and it'll be interesting to see how they kind of reconcile some of those ideas or plots, how we all maybe strike a balance together, you know?
It's you.
Hey, friend. You're so good and so right, and I'm just so glad to see you again, Jory. Why would Primordus target here instead of Lion's Arch?
You don't have to be a killer Crichton sleuth to see that this settlement is a more attractive target than Lion's Arch. Primordus causes destruction.
Explain it to me.
It's his MO. No better way to do that than set fire to the most vulnerable.
And I guess important food sources, right? Like the farmers, farms and farmers, their crops. You don't have to directly attack a city to basically kill a city, you know what I mean?
Hello.
What were you doing in the area?
Taimi sent word this was a possible emergence point for Primordus's goons. We just got lucky this time. Well, not lucky, but you know.
I love that Jory's talking about this, like, incomprehensibly powerful, unknowable creature. It's just like, yeah, it's goons. It's little nonsense monsters. How's Cass?
Let's not do that right now, okay? I mean, she's fine. We're fine. Fine.
That does not sound fine to me. You two have to be in love and happy forever. I mean, you can have sad times. You don't have to always be a happy person. But you do have to be together and in love. Because you're very important. Let's talk to Javi. Oh, Javi's so beautiful. Oh my god, Javi is so beautiful and powerful. Look at her. She's rocking those bangs. She's fierce. There's just so many beautiful women in Guild Wars 2. I can't handle it. I swear by Raven's eyes, if Jory doesn't listen next time I give an order. She has a good point, I think.
Well, sure. And this time things worked out. But Primordus has more troops than we do. We need to be smarter. You know as much as any of us about the calculus of war. You can't always save everyone. And if Jory keeps trying, she's gonna get herself killed.
I mean, we also have to remember that Javi is just coming off of the whole everything that happened with Almora. You know what I mean? So she's definitely in a place right now where I think she has seen first, like, just immediately the effects of this kind of like war and what's happening and what, yeah, running off to play the hero can get you. So,
Why do you think destroyers targeted this settlement?
I assumed it was to draw us away from the gates of Lion's Arch, but that doesn't make any sense. They tried hitting those first to draw us away from the settlement. Jory was the only one who saw it. Maybe Prime Mortis just thrives on chaos. The settlement of defenseless villagers would be a prime target.
Or maybe there's something here, or... Huh. How are things holding up with the Vigil?
After Jakar, I needed to get away from the marches. I went on a tour of Vigil encampments around Tyria. Mostly a morale thing. I figured Larenthir would have come back by now. He hasn't.
Everybody real sad.
For this long.
Everybody real sad.
But the days keep passing, and here I am. So, I'm getting used to it.
You're doing great, and I'm so proud of you. The Vigil's lucky to have you leading them. Take care.
All right. So that's it. That's the end. That's the end there. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Take care of yourselves. The world is crazy, but I'm glad we can have a space where we can all fly together and just keep an eye on each other during all of this. So never be afraid to reach out. Never be afraid to connect. Or if you just are hanging out for the smiles, for the laughs, for the good times, we're really glad to have you too. Okay. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.